Hello, athletes, and welcome to the 2018 Collegiate Club National Championships pre-race webinar. My name is Brian D'Amico, and I will be your race director for the race. This will basically detail all the course maps and all the integral information that you will need to have a successful race and race day experience. We do have a new events app this year, so we've revamped the app. And it's titled the USA Triathlon Events app. So those of you that may have downloaded the app last year, please make sure you go in and delete that app. Again, the new one is called the USA Triathlon Events app. This can be downloaded in both the App Store and the Google Play Store. And the icon is an athlete with an orange background if you're looking for a visual representation of that. The main app features very similar to last year's app, but again, kind of revamped and re-optimized. So you can track yourself and other participants. So you can go in prior to the race and set up those notifications. Those notifications can be push notifications to not only your phone, but if you have friends, family members, those that are either at the venue or not the venue, they can also sign up to receive those notifications as well. It can also be push notifications that are done to social media accounts such as Facebook and Twitter. Just note that the locations of athletes on the course are estimates based off of their current pace and when they've crossed those specified timing mats. Additionally, important race informations will come through. So not only when pre-race briefings are happening, but also when race starts are happening, as well as relevant news items. You can also view the overall race results and current race leaderboards, as well as pertinent information and schedules within the app. So running through the schedule of events, so there's a mandatory briefing for all draft legal athletes taking place at 5 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Tuscaloosa. It's about a 3 or 4 minute walk from the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. Again, that is mandatory at 5 p.m. After that, briefing wraps up from 5:45 to 6:30 will be mandatory packet pickup, which is in the hallway right outside of the Embassy Suites. One important thing to note is that if you're not a guest staying at the Embassy Suites, you must park in the lower lot directly behind the hotel at 25th and Greensboro. This parking is also free, and it's about a 30-second walk to the hotel. Again, you must have your photo ID to present when picking up your packet. The schedule of events for Friday, April 27th, so the DL race day. Transition will open. Women will be kicking off the day from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., with the swim warm-up taking place from 7:30 to 8 o'clock a.m. National Anthem will take place at 8:05. Top returning intros at 8:10 and at 8:15 a draft legal start. So it will be an on the pontoon start or on the dock start. It'll be a dive start. Concurrently, while this race is going on after the women start at 8:15, Olympic distance packet pickup and expo will be open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater on the stage. While the women are racing for DL, TA will open for the DL men. You will enter via the east side of transition. We will have a 10x10 USAT pop-up tent and a swim gate for you to check in, not only to ensure you are not interfering with the women, both during the check-in process and as you're racking your bike to get your TA area set up. That transition for men will be open from 9 a.m. to 9:50. Swim warm-up for men will take place from 9:15 to 9:45. The course will close for women at 9:45 a.m. For men, top returning intros will take place at 9:55 with a mid-DL start at 10 o'clock a.m. It will be a mandatory bike checkout for all DL athletes from 11 o'clock a.m. to 11:50 a.m. And the course will close in its entirety for the draft legal men's race at 11:30 a.m. Continuing on to Friday, after the DL races, there'll be 2 sets of high school races, both the men and women, so certainly welcome you to stick around for those to encourage those athletes. At 1:30 p.m. will be a collegiate national non-drafting and coaches and captains rules briefing. This is mandatory for coaches and captains. This will be in the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater in the Mercedes-Benz Club, which is directly next to the concession area. Immediately following that at 2:15 p.m., we will roll into the Collegiate MTR briefing. This is mandatory. Please make sure you have at least one representative from your team there, again, at the same location. At 2:45 to 3:45 will be open swim for Olympic distance athletes only. Women will begin at 2:45 and will be open to swim until 3:15. While men will be able to swim from 3:15 to 3:45. Please know that you must enter the water in the start area. No athletes will be permitted to enter the water from the exit. Additionally, the pasta party will take place from 4:30 to 9 p.m., which I will touch upon in a moment. Transitioning on to Saturday, so TA will be open from 5:30 a.m. to 7:25 a.m. Please make sure you're there in plenty of time to check into transition. It's about a 5-minute walk traveling east from transition to the swim start area, so please make sure you allocate appropriate time to get there. National Anthem will kick off at 7:25. For women, there'll be 4 waves of women kicking off in 10-minute increments beginning at 7:30, with the last women's wave beginning at 8 o'clock a.m. At 8:55 will be the swim cutoff for women. PC Open athletes will have a swim warm-up from 9:05 to 9:20 a.m., and at 9:25 a.m. will be the PC Open start. At 10:10 a.m., men will begin their first wave with wearing white color caps. There'll be 6 men's waves taking off in 10-minute increments, with the first wave taking off at 10:10 a.m. and the last wave at 11 o'clock a.m. On Saturday, the bike cutoff will be at 2 o'clock p.m. It's mandatory, and I can't stress this enough, that all bikes must be out of transition beginning at 2 p.m. and up until 3 o'clock p.m. We need to flip transition to get set for MTR. The MTR substitution cutoff will take place no later than 2:45 p.m. All those changes must be made on the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater stage. Just a reminder that it's female, male in the start order. TA will open for MTR from 3:10 to 4 o'clock p.m. With a 4:15 start with an estimated end time at 5:45 p.m. The award ceremony will take place at the Sellers Auditorium at the Bryant Conference Center, same location as last year, from 8 o'clock p.m. to approximately 9:30 p.m. As mentioned, Olympic distance PC Open and MTR packet pickup will take place on Friday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the stage at the amphitheater. Timing chips. So this is a new procedure and new chips that we will have this year. We will not be using disposable chips. So kind of the way this will work out. If you're doing only one race, let me back up real quick. So all athletes will receive only one timing chip. So regardless if you're doing one race, 2 races, or 3 races, you will only receive one timing chip. Your timing strap will be color-coded. So if you're doing one race, you'll receive your timing chip on a black timing chip strap. So upon the completion of your race, if you're doing one race and you have the black timing strap, you will turn your chip in at the finish line upon completion of your race. If you're doing 2 races, again, you will have one timing chip that will be on a red strap. So the red strap denotes that you will be doing 2 races. So whether you're doing a combination of DL and Olympic, DL and MTR, Olympic and MTR, whatever 2 races you are doing, you will get that timing chip, one timing chip on the red strap. Let's take, for example, you're competing in the DL and Olympic distance race. Upon completion of your DL race, which is obviously your first race, you will keep your timing chip and strap. This will not be removed at the finish line. At the completion of your second race, you will then turn in your chip and timing strap. If you are doing 3 races, you will receive one timing chip, but it will be on a blue band. You will turn in your timing chip and strap at the completion of your 3rd race, which will be your MTR race. Again, very important to know, all of our staff and volunteers is in the loop as well, and they will probably be asking you if this is your last race, if you're not wearing a black strapped timing chip and strap. Team tents, so these can be set up either Thursday or Friday. Just make sure, and just for your knowledge, they are on a concrete flooring in the bowl of the amphitheater, so you must have weights to weigh these down. Please make sure you lower your tents at the end of each day. On Saturday, break down these ASAP prior to the award ceremony. It's imperative that all trash is cleaned up and all tents are broken down no later than 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, April 28th. The pre-race pasta dinner will take place on Friday from 4:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. If you have not already, please make sure you RSVP online. Additional tickets are available at the door for $15, but please know it's free to athletes and one coach that have RSVP'd in advance to guarantee that reservation. Parking from Wednesday through Saturday, so no parking is permitted within the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater grounds. Athletes are encouraged to walk or ride to the venue. Additionally, looking at this slide here, this lays out what your parking options are. So directly to the west of the amphitheater, to the west of the train trestle, is a large parking lot where you're free to park. Additionally, at the intersection of 24th and 3rd, and also between 6th and 7th Street, there's a parking ramp. With that parking ramp, just note that the clearance is 6 feet 8 inches for that parking ramp. The non-drafting and coaches and captains rules briefing, which I touched upon, our head referee will be Al Hennigan. This will be Friday at 1:30 p.m. in the Mercedes-Benz Club room at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. Laying out the venue, so to the west side of the map is transition, the finish line and Team 10 area, as well as medical, additional Team 10 area, and then the announcer stage are all in the bowl. Packet pickup will be on the stage at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. The volunteer and info tent is just outside of the main gates. This also kind of details the flow within the venue. All these yellow dotted lines are spectator crossings areas to help assist you getting from point A to point B throughout the venue. Body marking and sticker placement. So the top one with the Quintarnaroo logo, this will go on your seat post. Also, you have 2 helmet labels, so these will go on your helmet as well as a additional label. We will not have a bag drop, so athletes will need to leave their excess bags with their teams or team tents areas or in your car. This additional sticker will not be used. We will not have swim cap stickers. All of your race numbers will be written on your swim caps by our staff. Below is your race bib, so this must be worn. Also included is your t-shirt and goodie bag voucher as well. Just detailing, so if you're looking at the screen, to the left side is how that seat post bike number sticker should be adhesed. Again, we will not have a bag check sticker, so feel free to use this as you wish. This can be given to a spectator, family member, or anyone kind of supporting you at the race. All athletes will be given a quad set of tattoos, so these need to go on the outside of each bicep and the outside of each calf, so 1 on each, so utilizing 2 for your arms and 2 for your legs. For uniform and bike requirements, so athletes must wear an official team uniform that covers their torso. Those uniforms may be unzipped during competition. However, the school's name and nickname must remain predominantly displayed on the front and back of the torso. Additionally, for the equipment, athletes should race on a traditional road or tri-bike. As of April 9th, the water temperature was 62 degrees. Since then, the air temperature has heated up quite a bit, so we expect that to be anywhere between 65 and 73 degrees on race day. We will have another reading tomorrow, April 18th, at which point that will be posted in the athlete newsletter, as well as online what that updated water temperature is. Draft Legal Bike Check-In, so this will be in the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater West parking lot on the side of transition under the 10x10 USA Triathlon tent. This is mandatory for all draft legal athletes. Women's check-in will be from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and men will be from 9 a.m. to 9:50 a.m. You must have your wristband, bike number, and timing chip with you. Women will start at 8:15 while men will start at 10 o'clock a.m. The DL swim course is a 1-lap 750-meter course. There'll be orange and yellow buoys on the course. The orange buoys are sight buoys, and you can swim to either side of those round orange buoys. The yellow buoys, triangular buoys, are your turn buoys, so you must round those with your left shoulder. The swim warm-up, as noted here, and there'll be plenty of support on water via boats, lifeguards, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, and fire and rescue. Detailing the DL swim course, so it'll be an on the pontoon or on the dock start. You may swim to either side of the orange buoys, around the first yellow, around the second yellow, where you have about a 450-meter straightaway before making that final left-hand turn around the yellow buoys where you have your run into T1. The bike course, so those of you that raced last year, we've eliminated the hill as soon as you exit TA, and we've also reduced the course from a 5-lap to a 4-lap course. So it'll be a 4-lap 20K course. The majority of the course will be closed with a full 2 lanes of riding. Please note that in some select areas, it will be condensed down to 1 to 1.5 lanes. In that situation, there'll be signage and a gradual cone taper to get you down into the 1 to 1.5 lanes. Note that there's no bottle exchange on course. There will be USAT officials on course, and the lap out rule will be in effect. Also important to note that there will be timing mats on course to ensure all athletes have completed their appropriate course and distance. Detailing the course, so looking in the bottom right-hand corner of this map, you will bike out, continue down Jack Warner Parkway, you'll make the U-turn at Marsh Spring Road, come back to the venue. So again, looking in the bottom right-hand corner, Where it says 2 laps, 2 through 4, you will stay right if you've completed your 4 laps. Again, there'll be a lead in sag moto, lapping athletes out, as well as a lap counter. There will be a bell on the final lap. You will stay right once you've completed your laps. You'll dismount and head into transition. If you are still completing laps 2, 3, and 4, you will stay to the left-hand side, around the center island, and then completing those additional laps. There will be a wheel pit also located within that center island. The DL Run course is a 2-lap 5K course. It is a moderately flat course that's fairly shaded on the river walk. There'll be 2-way run traffic delineated by cones, and there'll be 2 aid stations per lap with water, Gatorade endurance formula, and Science and Sport gels. Detailing the run course, so as you leave TA, you continue past the swim start area, passing your first aid station where you hit your turnaround point to the east side of this map where a timing mat will also be located. Heading back, hitting your second aid station, you will travel through the parking lot. At this point where it says 2 lap 2 and penalty box, this is where you'll be forced to make a decision. If you still need to complete lap 2, you will stay straight into the right to get to lap 2. If you've completed lap 2, you will stay to the left to the finish. The penalty box is located just prior to the finish. All penalties will be served on the run course. It's your responsibility to ensure that you look at that penalty board to see if your race number is in there for serving of that penalty. DL transition, so this shows the flow. I'll give you a quick second to look over this. Olympic and PC Open bike check-in. So this will take place, it's mandatory for all athletes from 5:30 to 7:25. Again, you must have your wristband, bike number, and timing chip with no excess bags in transition. The swim course for Olympic distance, as mentioned with DL, there'll be orange circular buoys on the course, as well as yellow triangular buoys on the course. The orange are sight buoys, in which case you may swim to either side of those sight buoys. The yellow buoys are triangular buoys. Those are your turn buoys. You must go around those with your left shoulder. It will be an in-water start. You'll be swimming in a rectangular loop. Swim warm-up is just prior to your wave start, and please make sure you're at the start at least 10 minutes before your assigned wave start. The Olympic distance swim course, as I had mentioned, so it will be an in-water start. You may swim to either side of the orange buoys. You'll then approach your first yellow turn buoy and your second yellow turn buoy, where you'll go around those with your left shoulder closest to the buoy. Continuing on the straightaway for about 1,100 meters or so, where you make the last and final left-hand turn prior to getting to the swim exit. There'll be a short incline and then a short run to transition. The Olympic distance bike course will be a 2-lap 40K course. Again, the majority of the course is closed with 1.5 to 2 lanes of closed traffic for vehicles, so that'll be a true 1.5 or 2 lanes for athletes to ride in. No bottle exchange. There will be USAT officials on motorcycles on course, and athletes are responsible for counting their own laps. There will be timing mats on course, so ensure you hit those timing mat locations. Again, it's a 2-lap 40K course. Detailing it, so you will bike out. You'll continue down Jack Warner Parkway, where you make a left to go over the home bridge, which is also 297. You'll make the 180 at 297 and Rice Mine Road, back onto Jack Warner Parkway. As you approach the venue and transition area, you will stay right if you've completed your second lap and stay left to continue on to lap 2. The Olympic distance run course is a 1-lap 9.8K course, moderately flat with 2-way run traffic delineated by cones on the river walk. And then there'll also be portions on Jack Warner Parkway. There's also 2-way traffic delineated by cones. There'll be 6 aid stations offering water, Gatorade endurance formula, and Science and Sport gels, as well as volunteers, medical, and police on course, as well as timing mats at the turnaround and other various points. Detailing the run course, so you'll exit TA. You will continue down the river walk. You'll make the U-turn and then continue back up Jack Warner Parkway, where you make another 180 at McFarland. You'll come back down. At this point is where your transition, you'll continue on Jack Warner Parkway back to the venue prior to your finish. For transition, the mount and dismount lines are clearly marked with bike racks individually numbered. You are required to rack your bike by the seat to start the race, and you may rack by seat or bars after you return for the bike. Only race essentials are allowed in transition, and bikes must be out of TA by 3 o'clock, no exceptions, so we can prepare for MTR. Running through the transition and flow, so swim in will be at the north side transition, bike out and bike in will be at the southern part, and then run out at the northern part. These star shapes are where the spectator crossings will be, as I had noted earlier in the presentation. For PC Open athletes, very important for these athletes, we'll brief you at the start as well. You'll be doing a sprint distance course. So it'll be an in-water start. You will make your first 2 turns will be at the first 2 orange buoys. Your last turn prior to exiting will be the yellow triangular buoy before your run to swim exit. Your bike course, instead of 2 laps, it will be a 1-lap course. So you're responsible for just doing 1 lap on the bike course for PC Open athletes only. On the run course, you will be doing the same skeleton of the course. The only difference is at this location where you can see the green arrow, instead of taking a left-hand turn onto Jack Warner to continue down to McFarland, you will take a right-hand turn to continue back to the venue. For all athletes, this is extremely important. There will be PC Open athletes and other athletes on the course at the same time. It's your responsibility for athletes that are not PC Open athletes for when you make that transition from the Riverwalk to Jack Warner Parkway. You make a left-hand turn for all other athletes to continue the full 9.8K course. For PC Open athletes, you'll make a right-hand turn. We'll also have staff, volunteers, and signage at this location as well. Transition and flow for PC Open. Again, this is the exact same layout as all the other athletes. The only difference is that it doesn't note that you're doing 2 laps on the bike course, since you will only be doing 1 lap on the bike. MTR will take place on Saturday, as mentioned. The briefing will be on Friday at 2:15 p.m. in the Mercedes-Benz Club room at the amphitheater. That substitution cutoff is at 2:45 p.m. and must be done on the amphitheater stage. Transition will be open from 3:10 to 4 o'clock, with final instructions at 4:05 and a relay beginning at 4:15 in the order of female, male. Prize money, a total of $4,999, split between first and fifth place teams. The swim course, so very important. So athlete 1 will start the race at the dock. You will be going in the opposite directions you would have done for the DL and Olympic distance race. So it'll be a dock start. You'll swim. When you make the left-hand turn, there will be an orange buoy placed at this location. You must go around that orange buoy to the exit. Athletes 2 through 4 will start at this location. So there will be a tag zone, which I'll detail here in a second. Athletes 2 through 4 will utilize the 2 yellow turn buoys for their swim course. So you'll swim out past the first yellow turn, second yellow turn, and then a straight exit before entering T1. The bike course is very straightforward, so it's a 1-lap, 5.9K course. The turnaround is at Hackberry Lane. Lastly, on the run, you'll exit TA. So it'll be different TA flow. So you'll still exit on the north side, but instead of continuing north, you will make a hard right-hand turn. You'll run in front of the amphitheater, making the 180 prior to hitting your aid station back to the venue. So it needs to be a physical tag with these athletes. So once you do the physical tag, that athlete will be tagged. They will continue to start the run. Once you finish that, you will need to continue through the finish line. Your total time will be from the first athlete's start to the last athlete's finish as you progress through the race. This details the tag zone area. So this details where bike in and bike out is, swim in and run out. Here's the MTR tag zone area. So again, it must be a physical touch for the athletes in that area. If athlete 1 is racing, athletes 2 need to be at the front of the tag zone area. We will have a speaker system set up in the area to do the best that we can to notify athletes what athletes are coming up on that tag zone area. Again, if you are currently racing, if you're the tagger, you need to continue through the finish line. If you are the taggee, once you get tagged, you need to run carefully down the embankment to the swim entrance area. Very important that this will be two-way traffic. So you must, if you're going into the water, you stay to the right side. If you're exiting the water, you stay to your right side as well. Aid stations throughout the race will be approximately every mile to 1.5 miles on the run course, offering Gatorade Endurance Formula, Science and Sport gels, as well as water and ice. Finish line will have water and Gatorade, as well as medical support, finisher medal. Upon completion of the race, continue walking straight to the post-race food area to get your post-race food, and penalties will be posted directly next to that area as well. The award ceremony will take place at Sellers Auditorium at the Bryant Conference Center on April 28th from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. In addition to these listed here, there'll be additional awards in addition to those listed here, but there'll be overall team national championship awards, individual armed forces, and collegiate spirit awards, as well as the prize money breakdown as noted below. This is the final notice for eligibility forms, so please note that these must be completed and sent to clubs@usatriathlon.org ASAP if you've not already done so. Lastly, we're rolling out, in conjunction with the Department of Homeland Security, the See Something, Say Something campaign. So we fully support this. Basically what the campaign does, it raises public awareness of the indicators of terrorism and terrorism-related crime, as well as the importance of reporting suspicious activity. So just be aware, we'll have some ads running on the large LCD boards as well. Just making sure, again, like the slogan does say, if you see something, make sure you say something and that is reported. Lastly, I won't go through all of these, but want to thank not only the City of Tuscaloosa and all their support services, but the medical team, Tuscaloosa Tourism Sports, Lakeshore, who's doing our traffic control, as well as volunteers, staff, local residents and businesses, partners, collegiate committee, sports stats who will be doing our timing, as well as Game Time Travel who has done our housing, DCH Sports Medicine, who has graciously agreed to do our medical providing for the event, as well as Velocity Pro Cycle offering our bike support. Also, our sponsors: Active Network, Roca, Rudy Project, QR, Thorn, Nationwide, Gatorade, Jaybird, Garmin, Norma Tech, 2XU and Training Peaks, Sport and Science, Competitor Group, KT Tape, Ashworth Awards, Body Glide, and Health IQ. If you do have any questions, please feel free to send those to nationalevents@usatriathlon.org. And that concludes the webinar. So again, my recommendation is that you watch this as many times if you need to. Some of the things will be covered kind of throughout the process in the pre-race briefing, not only for DL, but also the coaches and captains in optional briefing for athletes for Olympic distance. We hope everyone has a great race, safe travels to Tuscaloosa, and we will see you soon. Thank you.